Okay, so I could go ahead and come private. For people that subscribe and participate, this is for you. If you're just eavesdropping, you don't have any money, and you're listening to this, you're making me money, and you're hurting other people. I'm just letting you know that. If you're just listening to this for free, and you know you should be sending a donation because you've got something from this, or you're interested in this, and you haven't, you're just eavesdropping, and you're costing people money. Yesterday, I made a lot of money from this type of problem that I have. And it's like I share a lot of information, but I don't receive what I'm supposed to receive from it. So what happened was is that the bet started out at a number 11 million, but what ended up happening is in the course of this guy trying to win the bet, he ended up putting up almost $20 million, and he lost it. Why? Because he didn't donate anything to my account for ticket sales. So what happens is that you come to a casino and didn't pay to get in, and then you try to bet. They just accept your bets for value, and that's basically what I had to do. And it's unfortunate, but that's what I had to do. And I'm trying to be funny, but I'm a really serious person when it comes to fees, and I know how much this stuff costs. And I know a few dollars, $100 to finish this up isn't nothing. And they couldn't donate that, so I had to go ahead and put out that last episode to pay for people that may still be interested in hearing it, but they like, I really don't have $100, but I wanted to hear the rest of it. So I'm still gonna do it. But if you listening to it and you know you could help out and you just eavesdropping because you're jealous about this bet, because they like put 84 cents in my account, that's not gonna cover what we're talking about. This is millions of dollars worth of information. They lost a bet with me in hockey last night. It's essentially what happened. And there was the only bet they won was in Major League Baseball, which is preseason. This is only cat in preseason. This is what happens. So let me explain this part on this episode. In preseason in baseball, this is cash. You're paying for something. There's no record. So there's no way for you to really say that you're the better person on preseason. Now, if you're the better person, you win in national hockey. And what happened is that the way I betted them yesterday is based on this. Everyone that I bet that uses IDs to drive around in cars, I don't care if you really are from another country or whatever the case may be. If you use an ID to drive around, you're state property. And I don't use that stuff. So what happened is that I used the international trade market and accepted it for value. And what happened was that they had to put up a bond. I'm not going to say how much it was, but it ended up being you were tampering with a bond that was worth over $40 million, and that's why you lost. And oil money. And I'm not going to go into the whole scenario, but that's why you lost the bet. Is essentially what happened because you were tampering with something that you don't 55 cents. And even in addition to that, you coming on and when you're monetizing, you're not even monetizing up to $1,000 in credit. And then you're saying that you won something. So what happened is he had a lot of money and stuff, basically, yeah. But again, it's like I always prove. I bet these guys, and I won because he doesn't have any credit. Credit's bad. And on top of that, you're not willing to pay to learn because you feel like you know it all because you have all of this money. So he actually lost, yeah. Due to profits, I made more profit than him. Yeah, he may have more cash than me, but your people, not maybe not him. He's not expected to pay me. He's the rival bet, so of course you don't have to buy tickets. But I'm saying your friends that are going back and forth from my channel to your channel are responsible. They're responsible because of the fact that you're listening to both. If you listen to anything I say, you owe me money. I'm not trying to be funny. This is how the world works in sovereignty, rates. Yeah, if you're listening to anything I say, you should even be listening. That's what happened. His friends were caught listening on both sides and it forfeited me to win because secondly, he ended up putting up $20 million to try to beat me, which was cheating. The cap was at 11 and I still ended up winning in hockey because my resources bounced. There's some resources that I got, some oil that's worth a lot of money and they ended up bouncing, messing around with this, which made me win when the check bounced. And I'll explain that in the future. It's a lot of stuff. But yeah, the check bounced, which caused me to take the victory. Because these guys, and that's another thing, some of them are local guys, jokers too, that were helping him. And they have a baseball team here. And they seem to think because their baseball team won, like, I think it was 5-1 or something like that. I forgot the score or whatever the case may be. And they have to, in my scenario, I have to set for value everything. Excuse me. I have to go against this baseball team every day as a bet every day because I'm not originally in the work that I do did not originate here. So they making me go against them every day. Yet they win, but they don't never want to look at the cash. They just say they won so they don't have to deal with me anymore. But it's preseason. Remember that. You didn't win anything. It's just cash being exchanged. That's what preseason is. So yeah, someone put up 5,000 and it was 5-1, which means that I had at least $1,000 because it should have been a zero here locally though for that team, which means I had at least $1,000 in credit to match you. Is essentially what happened. And that means if you don't cash me out, see, this is what happens. We don't cash a person out, it grows in a profit. So you start using profit to beat people. So I was able to use my profit to cap off over $20 million. And I'm going to call the bet off for now because I don't think this person even understands at this point, honestly, what's going on. And I'm not a guy that really tries to do too much explaining because you either see money or you don't. And it's like if you don't, that's on you. Honestly, like that's really on you. I'm not trying to diss anybody or anything like that. I'm just keeping it real. Like if you don't know and understand what's going on based upon everything that I've explained and what happened last night, and you can't look at the fact that national hockey is a lot more lucrative in going into the season versus a preseason baseball game that you won, because he won several hands in baseball financially, but there was no, what happened was that there was a cash out needed for him to be able to access credit, of which he never cashed out, or no one in his circle. I'm not saying he should have cashed out, but someone in your circle should have cashed out and they never cashed out. So here we are here today, essentially with some donations of some people that did help in the community that watched from afar that are now like, we're throwing our hand in. So everyone, I don't have any bets. So what happens when I have bets, I bet bigger companies, billionaires and stuff. So I'm going to have to today move on to another project with some guys in New Orleans that I'm going to be doing some betting on based off of what happened today. But I'll talk more about that at another time. I'm not going to share that with you guys. But I just wanted to put that out for people that were interested. Like, yeah, we did participate in it. Things really didn't work out. People get niggerish because they start hearing you talk about these titles. It figures how much money you making or whatever. And they like, I ain't donating shit to him. Shit, he talking about this and that, $1 million. Like, that's, you shouldn't worry about that. See, that's the mentality of why people don't learn and can't advance. They won't ever make any money. Because everything is a student-teacher relationship. And if you're not interested, that would reveal itself. My popularity shows that what's going on has truth in it. And someone out there must be interested. It's just that you don't want to pay. You get upset. You get emotional. And your feelings interfere with money. It costs you and yourself education and money, man, woman. So yeah, that's that. Not to really browbeat or anything like that or make someone feel upset, but again, man, this is what we do here on this channel. If you learned anything, I mean, I appreciate increments and small donations, but again, that kind of forfeited his winnings. So he doesn't understand. I'm sure he doesn't want to deal with this anymore because it's not as easy as, 11-0. That's what ended up happening. That's when the bet kind of went bad on that score that was 11-0 yesterday in baseball. There was the Rockies, I believe, and the Diamondbacks or someone. I forgot. It's so much went on yesterday, but there was an 11-0 score. You can go check it out on Major League Baseball yesterday. And that's an indicator of, remember we were betting like $11 million. Remember I said that and it went out 0. So that's when it already was accepted for value, basically. That's my proof. You're like, when did this happen? What are you talking about? 11-0 yesterday. I believe it was like it was the Red Sox and it was the Red Sox zeroed out to someone. I forgot who they played, but the bottom line is, yeah, it was Minnesota. And they zeroed out, and I took responsibility for the 0, though. And that's how I ended up winning in hockey. Explain how I did it. So I took responsibility for the 0 when it zeroed out. So what happened is that when I took responsibility for the 0, I ended up winning in the end in hockey. So that's how I won, if you want to understand it. So yeah, I lost a lot because I got a lot of money in Minnesota. That's why I went on here and took the L. A lot of money in Minnesota. So I went on here and took the L. It zeroed out. His bet zeroed out. And then he tried to start topping it, ended up putting up $20 million. It forfeited because it wasn't for that much. Because he knew, so he could have, this person probably is a little upset because honestly, 11-0, you lost. Lost a lot of money with that. Pretty much, essentially, your million was put up against nothing because you didn't Visa me is for fees. Is why the zero hit. Zeros are, I'm gonna say this and I shut down. Zeros are lucrative. Zero costs. When it's something zero, somebody that's a cash out. If you don't cash out, it turns into a profit. So I come back over more. Thank you guys for watching. Women. Hotep. Peace.